What's going on, guys? My name is Psycho. Today we're back with a brand new video. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about one tip for each agent in Valorant. For this video, we're going to be starting from the first agent, Astra, and ending at the last agent, Yoru. Before we get started with today's video, consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. It helps me out a ton and I really appreciate it.
The barrel of the gun is always dark.
My tip for Astra, specifically today we're going to be talking about the Great Divide. Astra's ultimate is a very useful tool that when used properly can win you a game. When you're placing her ult, you do not want to place a single point and start spinning it around making your wall dizzy. Instead, place a marker at point A and go to point B and place your other one, and you will create a perfectly straight wall to those locations that can block off specific angles when used properly.
I'm in overdrive!
So for today's tip on Breach, we're going to be talking about his ability Fault Line. You do not need to use Fault Line up close to an angle. It has a very far reach that your teammates can utilize better than you can. One tip that I have for you on Breach is that when you are activating this ability, it has a range indicator on the minimap. So when you are clicking and holding your mouse, it shows exactly how far you will hit, and you can let your teammates play off this angle if you call it out, or you can play off it yourself.
Smoke's down!
So when talking about Brimstone, I don't have a tip, but more of an anti-tip. When playing against him, if you know where he's playing for lineups from, if you look up at the angle, you can jump and time it right, where your player hitbox will collide with the molly hitbox, and you will deflect it, so your teammate can safely defuse the bomb and win the round.
I really am fantastic.
So my tip for Chamber, we're going to be talking about his ability, Rendezvous. Rendezvous is a quick teleport that you can use when two pillars are placed close together in a diameter. This ability is super useful in 1v1 situations. When you get information on where your enemy is, you can teleport to the other site and you have a free site to plant the bomb and defend from.
Spike planted.
They were blind.
So my tip for Cypher, I'm going to be talking about the cyber cages. If you're playing Ascent, you come to a site, you jump on this green box. If you line your crosshair up with the left side of this window, you can throw your cyber cage at this corner and it will land on this ledge. If you play Heaven from this spot, when enemies are pushing A main, you can create a one-way line of sight that you can utilize to get free kills on your enemy. Another one-way Cypher cage can be placed on B site. If you bring yourself over to the marketplace edge and you kind of hang yourself off, if you look up at the wall and you place your crosshair between these two cuts on the wall, if you throw your Cypher cage, it will land perfectly on the corner, and then you have the freedom to play back B or CT. Doing this will create a one-way cage for you that will be able to repel any enemy attacks coming up B main.
In your faces.
My tip for Jet, we're going to be talking about her dash utilized as a super dash. There are a lot of maps that you can do this on that give you extremely good movement and can give you easy kills.
Get out of my kill zone.
For KO's tip, we're going to be talking about his 0-point ability. KO's 0-point ability can be shot off of walls to prevent your entire team from getting suppressed, and for the love of Radiance, please just freaking shoot it, man!
Go ahead, call me tech support again.
My tip for KJ, just like KO, is going to be another anti-tip. When a KJ places her ult in game, if you're playing a character that can counter her, just use your ult to counter the KJ ult. That way you do not get pushed off of site and you guys still have the chance to defend.
Cover going out.
For Omen's tip, we're going to be talking about his ability Shrouded Step. You can fake your opponents out easily after smoking a line of sight and acting like you're going to teleport across it, but instead teleporting right in front of you. The enemies are going to think you teleported across, and you get a free kill and a free win.
Buy stuff, ka-ching, little skrrr, then we're done, yeah?
For Phoenix's tip, we're going to be talking about his flashes. When you know an enemy's holding an angle, don't throw a normal flash. They can easily avoid it and kill you. Instead, throw a back flash by clicking the mouse button opposite of the way you're going to peek. You can also throw ground flashes the same way, and both of these are useful tips to make sure that your enemies will get flashed.
against the world.
My tip for Raze, which a lot would expect to be the fact that Raze is one of the best movement agents in the game when paired with her blast packs, is not the tip I'm going to be going for. The tip that I'm going to be talking about is the fact that you can utilize Raze's blast packs with Boombot to blast it up to an elevated surface rather than having it bounce off of a lower wall.
Don't resist.
My tip for Reyna has to do with Reyna's leers. When using her leers, do not throw them straight ahead of you, as this is dangerous because the enemies can still have their crosshair at your head. Instead, throw them up in the air or down at the ground. And even for a better combination, you could do one up and one down to catch your enemies off guard and they have no chance to kill you.
Today, I was the sword.
My tip for Sage is specifically on B site on Icebox. If you come over here to the edge of this container, do not line yourself up too close because you will hit your head and push you back. Line yourself up about here and look at the top of these crates. You can line your crosshair up on the top of the crates. When you do this successfully, pull your wall out and rotate it vertically to where it's facing towards you. Jump a couple times and line it up. When you're ready, at the peak of your jump, press your wall and it will place on the crate and it will raise you above the container. From here, you have a perfectly good peek into the enemies pushing into the B site where you can get some picks. You can also jump around the side of the ice wall to the other side like this to where you have a different angle to hold from.
How did I get this powerful?
In my tip for Skye, we're going to be talking about her flashes. When flashing with Skye, a lot of people like to do this and break their wrist while flashing and even miss their flash. I see this all the time in my ranked games. Instead, line it up with a wall, throw it, pop your flash late, your gun will be ready and you can get a kill.
I'll tear through you all!
For Soba's tip, we're going to be talking about his Recon Dart. Minus the fact that you can stick it to enemies and it will hold on to them and show everything in the radius, I see a lot of people using darts like this, where it bounces multiple times.
There they are.
Instead of using a dart like this, use a quick dart similar to this one. The enemies will have less time to line up their crosshair and you're more likely to get a scan off.
You wanted a villain? I gave you a villain.
My tip for Viper has to revolve around Viper's pretty much entire kit. When you're using her wall, you can also use your poison orb to create a secondary wall to where you can divide up the line of sight into zones. You can also pick up the orb and move it around so you can continue dividing up lines of sight and making sure that you can wrap around and get some sick flanks and just create space for your team.
Where you belong. In the dirt.
I'm back.
My tip for Yoru. When it comes to gaining information, Yoru is one of the best. If you throw your teleport outside of a site and you ult in, when you get the information you need, if you press your teleport and ult simultaneously, you will come out of your teleport and your ult a lot faster. And that's one tip for each agent in Valorant. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider giving it a like and comment below if you were able to use some of these tips in your games. Don't forget to stay connected on all socials using the Linktree link in the bio below. Come hang out in my Discord, come see what I do behind the scenes. It's been Psycho. Peace.